Yeah, he's boastful. I think his god is the material things, money, everything like that. I'm pity with him because I want to share the word of God in him if he believe.
You know what's crazy? People are always in my fucking business, worried about what I'm doing, what Floyd is doing, what Floyd ain't doing, what I do got, what I don't got. Just know, I'm gonna stay in my lane. I ain't gonna fuck with nobody, and I don't want nobody fucking with me. If I go on vacation, my fault. When I go on vacation for 30 days, I take 30 watches with me. I'm not educated in school. I'm educated in life. I know how to survive.
There you go.
Nobody has taken none of my properties away from me.
Right.
So I still got all my houses. I still got everything. My mother, my whole family, they bills still paid.
Right.
I still pay all my employees. And just look around, my team, they still paying their bills. My mother's house is paid for. All my properties are paid for. My grandson don't want for nothing. I'm happy with that. As long as I'm able to eat every day, pay my bills, and travel and do the things that I want to do, and I don't have to get up and punch no clock and work for nobody, then that's my comfort. A lot of times they say, oh, it's this lawsuit, it's that lawsuit. One thing about me, whoever I get involved with, as far as with business, I get myself out of the situation. Nobody see me in no soup line, and I ain't been out on the...
The tables have turned in dramatic fashion, almost like the biggest upset on the Las Vegas Strip. Manny Pacquiao is now taking direct shots at Floyd Mayweather in his latest video, reacting to reports surrounding Floyd's alleged $150 million financial downfall. The same Pac-Man who was once dismissed as finished by Mayweather is now watching his longtime rival face financial turmoil. His words land like verbal punches aimed at the self-proclaimed undefeated king who, according to the reports, lost everything except his pride. This is not simply redemption. It feels like revenge delivered at the perfect moment. Stick around because what comes next tells the full story.
June 27th only on the Zone.
I give it all that I got.
Few rivalries in boxing history have reached the level of Mayweather versus Pacquiao. Their unforgettable 2015 clash became the highest-grossing event the sport had ever seen. More than 10 years later, the rivalry continues to evolve, driven not only by what happened inside the ring but also by financial decisions, personal choices, and consequences that stretch far beyond boxing itself.
Month of his life, and it just got worse. Just the other day, June 18th, a new lawsuit filed against Floyd Mayweather and his business partners Frist Apex Ventures, filed by CSI Entertainment and their other entities in the state of New York. I released 2 videos recently covering this story. This is now the 3rd in the trilogy about Floyd going broke, having issues with felony charges, and
Manny Pacquiao recently released a new video where he speaks directly about Floyd Mayweather as reports continue to circulate regarding serious financial difficulties involving the undefeated former champion. Although Pacquiao delivers his message in a calm, straightforward manner, his comments carry undeniable weight. He discusses the delayed rematch while expressing hope that Mayweather can overcome the challenges he is currently facing. Coming from the man who shared the ring with Floyd in the biggest event boxing has ever witnessed, those remarks hold even greater significance.
With me, but I disagree, and I want to fight with exhibition with him. I want to fight a real fight like this. So this is it. This is what I'm waiting for.
Mayweather Jr. sure used to talk a lot of smack about Muhammad Ali. To turn around and be in a situation that is apparently worse than Muhammad Ali was in, as Floyd Mayweather Jr. is suing all of his business friends,
Throughout his career, Manny Pacquiao became known for discipline, relentless dedication, and constant movement. Even at this stage of his life, he still follows a demanding routine that many younger fighters continue to admire and learn from. His public remarks arrive while questions remain surrounding Mayweather's financial affairs. Reports have suggested losses estimated at roughly $150 million or even more. Those figures are linked to ongoing legal disputes, including lawsuits involving former business partners and longtime associates.
Is him being sued for how he did not uphold his end of the bargain with what we had seen promoted with the Mike Tyson and Manny Pacquiao fights that was supposed to be happening. Floyd Mayweather is being sued by a boxing promoter who claims they paid the legendary pugilist $4.65 million in advance money for mega fights against Mike Tyson and Manny Pacquiao, only for
Mayweather has publicly rejected those claims, maintaining that his primary assets remain protected and that he continues to fulfill his responsibilities toward his family. Nevertheless, debate across the boxing world has not slowed. Floyd spent years building an image centered around financial success. The money brand became one of the defining identities of an entire era. Luxury cars, private jets, and headline-grabbing exhibition fights all reinforced that reputation. While those achievements brought enormous rewards, they also attracted intense scrutiny whenever problems surfaced. Cancelled events, payment disagreements, and ongoing questions surrounding management have all become central topics of discussion. Meanwhile, Dana White offered a different viewpoint. The UFC president expressed respect for the work Mayweather invested in creating his fortune. He also said he would be willing to help if needed, noting how rapidly professional athletes can see their financial situations change. White's comments reflected the perspective of someone who has watched countless careers unfold from ringside.
Hopefully this situation gets rectified, especially when it comes to having people around you, having other people in control of your finances. That's a no-no, Uncle. Joe, that's a no-no.
Man.
That is a big no-no, especially with the kind of cash flow
Not
Floyd
no
having.
blank, though, Ocho. You know you can't sign anything blank. Ocho, when they come to us and they try to get us to sign these blanks, when it comes to our autograph. No.
Bob Arum approached the situation from a broader point of view. The veteran promoter spoke about the dangers that often accompany years of extravagant spending. According to Arum, maintaining a lifestyle centered on non-stop luxury can eventually create serious financial difficulties regardless of how much money was once earned. Having witnessed multiple generations of fighters rise and fall, his comments carried the authority of experience rather than criticism. Adrian Broner, however, chose to publicly support Mayweather. The former champion and longtime friend stated that he would gladly help Floyd if circumstances ever required it. Broner's reaction reflected the close relationships that frequently exist within boxing. As criticism continued to grow, Jason Whitlock and Rick Glazer added their own perspectives. Both suggested that the money brand itself may have contributed to today's pressure. In their opinion, management choices, legal costs, and changing dynamics within Mayweather's inner circle all played significant roles. Others disagreed, arguing that failed investments and ongoing business disputes were the real causes behind the situation.
Having money issues, Floyd, his fight just got canceled in Greece. His fight with Mike Tyson might get suspended. Obviously, Pacquiao just got pushed back as well. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that whole situation?
Well, it's very, very sad. But, Floyd had a great career. He made a lot of money. But in his mind, that made him a great genius, great business.
Reports also surfaced involving private conversations between individuals once viewed as trusted members of Mayweather's inner circle. In one recording that attracted widespread attention, Al Heyman and Leonard Ellerbe appeared to discuss the situation in a way that hinted at either concern or growing distance. Whether those remarks represent genuine shifts in loyalty or simply honest conversation remains unclear. Boxing has always been built upon complicated relationships. At the same time, plans continue to remain on hold as contract issues and Mayweather's legal matters contribute to the ongoing delay. Pacquiao has stated that efforts are underway to secure a new date, possibly sometime next year, presenting his comments as an attempt to move toward a solution instead of creating further conflict. The situation also raises larger questions about boxing legacy. Mayweather retired undefeated while earning hundreds of millions through careful matchmaking and promotional control. That remarkable success established an extraordinary standard, but it also created expectations that become difficult to maintain after retirement. Many fighters eventually discover that the discipline required inside the ring does not always extend into business. Investments sometimes fail, advisors can make expensive mistakes, and lifestyle costs often increase faster than anticipated.
For the exclusive rights to air both of those fights, the Mike Tyson fight and the Manny Pacquiao fight. They say that Floyd took the money and then basically just disappeared on them. Said, okay, I'm going to take the money, I'm going to cash the check, but I'm not actually going to allow you to, again, broadcast the fights. And this company, it's called CSI Entertainment, they have now filed the lawsuit and they have essentially said, Floyd needs to give us that money. And
Pacquiao chose a very different direction. After reaching the highest point of his boxing career, he shifted much of his attention toward politics and public service in the Philippines. Although he still competes from time to time, his own finances have occasionally faced public scrutiny as well. Even so, he continues projecting stability along with a clear sense of purpose. The contrast between these two icons remains striking. One built an empire through defensive brilliance and technical precision, while the other earned success through relentless pressure and deep connections with his community. Both climbed to the very top of boxing, and both are now navigating life beyond their greatest achievements. Uncertainty remains the common thread. Legal proceedings require time, and final outcomes depend on court rulings, negotiations, and private agreements. Mayweather has overcome setbacks before by finding new opportunities, but whether that continues remains to be seen. The delay also demonstrates how quickly outside circumstances can reshape even the biggest plans. While Pacquiao continues preparing for competition and expressing his readiness, Mayweather remains focused on resolving current matters while insisting his foundation is still secure.
Boxer who we have talked about a lot over the last year was set to come back and get back in the boxing ring with two massive events. One against Mike Tyson, and the second, a professional fight against Manny Pacquiao. A rematch, of course, of the fight we saw a decade ago. Well, there was a promotion.
Boxing has always existed between glory and uncertainty. Fortunes can be created in a short time and disappear just as unexpectedly. Mayweather's current situation serves as a reminder rather than a final judgment. Careers built under the spotlight will always be evaluated in public. Every choice carries consequences, loyalty eventually faces challenges, brands come under pressure, and legacies continue evolving over time. Pacquiao's video does not center on mocking or celebrating his rival. Instead, it offers a message from one fighter to another during a difficult period. That restraint is exactly what gives his words greater meaning. As legal proceedings move forward, conversations inside gyms and executive offices have become increasingly serious. Boxing rarely delivers simple endings. Instead, it reveals moments of clarity shaped by pressure, time, and the consequences that inevitably follow.
Not only for Floyd's legacy, but also for how networks and advisors handle fighter compensations. Mayweather wants hundreds of millions back plus punitive damages, pushing this beyond a simple accounting dispute. If the court rules in his favor, it could open the door to more scrutiny of boxing's behind-the-scenes financial relationships. So this is kind of nuts, man. Wow, taken aback, surprised by this. I'm thinking,
No one truly knows what comes next. Whether resolution arrives inside the ring, through the courts, or in private life, it will hold a different meaning for each man. Long after the arena lights fade, money continues shaping the sport in powerful ways. The postponed rematch also carries consequences across promoters and broadcasting partners. Pacquiao quietly continues preparing through his familiar early morning runs around General Santos City. His training combines technical work with a close connection to the local community. He rarely discusses his financial situation publicly, choosing instead to emphasize faith and readiness. Those closest to him describe a man who has learned valuable lessons from both successful and difficult business experiences. His journey demonstrates that lasting success requires maintaining balance between boxing and the life that follows outside the ring.
Up in Floyd Mayweather's face for all the smack he talked about Muhammad Ali and how Muhammad Ali's name was only worth $50 million and he sold half of his name for $50 million and how he's made so much more money and that makes him all of that. Talked about how Muhammad Ali, I'm sure, or I don't know if he did, but I'd heard, talked about Floyd. Yeah, he did, because he talked about his money and how he had to sell his name because he didn't have.
Mayweather, meanwhile, continues making carefully selected public appearances. Exhibition contests provide visibility along with additional income, yet they also spark ongoing debate about the difference between genuine competition and entertainment. Some analysts believe these events help him remain sharp, while others see them as a response to changing financial circumstances. Either way, they keep him active while uncertainty surrounds future major fights. Younger fighters are paying close attention to everything unfolding. Prospects training throughout Las Vegas and Los Angeles are approaching management contracts more cautiously than before. Many still admire Mayweather's early achievements in self-promotion, but they also recognize the challenges that emerge when control begins slipping away. Trainers report increased discussions about financial education, while advisors continue emphasizing diversified investments and careful legal oversight. Whether viewed as inspiration or a warning, his example is influencing how the next generation prepares for life beyond boxing. Industry executives are examining the broader implications as well. Promoters who once relied heavily on Mayweather's drawing power are now evaluating financial risk more carefully. One major stakeholder described this period as a test of the financial systems created during boxing's highest-earning years. If even historic success cannot completely protect enormous wealth, then every contract deserves closer examination. That mindset continues spreading, not through panic, but through a realistic understanding of boxing's unforgiving economics.
No matter how much money you have, you can't have 2 big planes, 10 security guards. It's going to cost you money. I mean, so again, I'm really sad to see that happen.
With every passing month, patience continues to be tested on both sides. Fans remain divided over what they hope will happen next. Some still want the rivalry settled inside the ring, while others worry that outside circumstances may reduce the significance of the event. Regardless, the possibility remains a constant topic throughout the boxing world. Observers have also begun paying closer attention to the human side of the story. Public images of wealth often create distance, but when those images begin to crack, they remind people that athletes operate within complicated systems very few fully understand. Family obligations, team salaries, charitable work, and countless responsibilities exist beyond public view. Decisions made under tremendous pressure often appear very different with time and greater perspective. As legal proceedings continue and potential training camps slowly take shape, the sport watches with cautious interest. The discussion has moved beyond undefeated records and highlight real performances. It now includes responsibility, consequences, and the ongoing effort required to protect everything that has been built. Boxing has produced countless champions, but only a handful have successfully managed the transition afterward with lasting stability. Ultimately, the story of these two legends reveals a deeper truth about success inside the squared circle. Winning championships may create wealth, but preserving it demands discipline long after the final bell. Legacy is shaped not by one unforgettable night, but by the choices that define everything that follows. Whatever the final outcome becomes, it will reflect both the decisions already made and those still waiting ahead, leaving the sport with valuable perspective as another chapter begins.